Hi, Fred Davis here at the Burrell Digital Personal Health Conference. I'm talking today with Dr. Keith Savell from Vitalink. Hi Keith, nice to have you with us.
Thanks, Fred.
Tell us a bit about Vitalink.
We are so excited about Vitalink. Fred, again, thanks for asking me to talk to you today. Vitalink arose out of our concern for our parents and the fact that our parents who live in other countries were increasingly at risk for social
Not just
isolation.
internationally, but living far
absolutely.
away. Anywhere.
In fact, one of our team members has a family member who lives in another part of the state and shared the same concern. The concern that we live a distance away, we can't go and visit, we can't share the experiences of our family with our parents, as well as our parents are getting older and increasingly frail. They're not able to travel to visit family and friends, nor are their friends who are also aging able to visit them. So we rebuilt the face of the computer experience and removed the complexity. Literally, it's one touch or one click of a button for people to do things. So for example, Skype is a wonderful vehicle for people to remain connected face to face, and yet it requires at least 3 steps, and there are small bars and small addresses, and it's challenging for someone who's older and computer intimidated.
Hey, I'm a computer expert. Sometimes I download the latest version of Skype and I go, where did the button to make a call go? I mean, it can be confusing just even to people who know what's going on.
Exactly, and I found the same thing, and I love Skype. But what we wanted to do was to make something Skype-ish or Skype-like available to the elderly. So we essentially rebuilt the skin of Skype. So at literally the click of an icon or the push of a button or the touch of a screen, the older adult can have a face-to-face conversation. We added in an I'm OK button, which changes color from green to yellow to red over a set period of time that the adult child or the care provider can key in. If the older user does not use the computer, doesn't touch it, doesn't play games, doesn't read stories, doesn't do any of that, it'll go to yellow within a set period of time and then to red. And then I, as the responsible party, the adult child, I'm notified on my computer, on my monitor panel, and I can then, if I need to, if my parents don't answer the phone or don't answer a Vitalink call, I can literally activate the camera on their computer and I can see what's going on in the kitchen. I can see, are they lying on the floor? Do they need immediate assistance?
So instead of big brother, it's big baby. No.
Well, it's certainly
a big child.
What it does is it adds security to my parents or the older user, and it helps me as an adult child responsible for providing care. Any older adult, any adult who's responsible for the care of someone else. It provides them a way to look in and check without actually having to go and visit. Which in my case would be difficult because I'm several thousand miles away from my family, or call 911 if there is a prolonged lack of
if you see them
connection.
lying on the floor when you check in on the camera.
Then you really know to 911. Yeah. Other features that we built in, I love sending my parents pictures of my kids, and yet if my parents can't download JPEGs, can't open up email, how are they going to look at the digital photos? Do I print them and mail them, which takes forever? So we created a button, again, color, the shape and the color of the icon on the computer screen is very easy to see. The older adult just touches it or clicks on that icon, and instantly up pop pictures that I've downloaded through Gmail and Picasso. I know how to use that. I know how to do it every single day, but my parents would never be able to figure it out. So now they just touch an icon, and there are family photos. Now it's software. It's not hardware. So it's software that's cloud-based. It's downloaded. Actually, you just link to it in the cloud. And I'm so excited about the way we're pricing it. Our marketing strategy is $4.95 per month for the user in the community, which is less than $60 a year. We didn't want to build a company on the backs of the elderly who probably couldn't afford it in the first place.
And advertising would be an annoyance, or kind of, it makes it less personal when you see ads as an ad-supported kind of a medium.
Right, so there's none of that on there at the moment. And we have a different pricing structure for communities, retirement communities, assisted living, skilled nursing facilities, and we're very excited. We have some clients, Masonic Home, for example. We just had a press release last week where the Masonic Home of California have signed a contract with us, and we now have Vitalink computers at the Masonic Home, and the residents are using it. And it's just so exciting to see the residents connect with family, in some instances family that they haven't seen face to face in perhaps years. That's very, very exciting, very moving to see that.
Impressive. So Vitalink's a startup, so you're pretty recently bursting onto the scene?
Yeah, thanks. Yep. We're about 8 months old. We launched at CES, at the Consumer Electronics Show in January in Las Vegas, And we went out on a limb and we entered the Last Gadget Standing, the competition, and we were honored and very pleased that we were accepted as a nominee. Vitalink was validated time and time and time again. We were amazed at how many people came up to us and said, you guys get it. This works ergonomically. This works in terms of the physiological changes of, that accompany aging. You've built something that works with the older user. This works. As well as people came up and they said, we have a digital health product, a blood glucose monitor, a pulse oximeter, a heart monitor. We would like to partner with you in Vitalink as a platform for the data that's collected on our device. Your platform is so user-friendly and is so intuitive that the older adult can interpret the data, can see it, can move things around, can access it, as well as the adult child.
Right, because that could be an issue. I mean, I've seen there's a burgeoning crop of digital health products for all of these types of things, but sometimes it's like you have a little blood pressure watch and you have to look down to see what it is. But many of these have now Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connections so that your blood pressure can be transmitted to a computer or something like that. So I think that sounds like a really powerful concept.
Yeah, we're very excited. And as you said, it's very small, and all of a sudden it's big on a screen, and everything works for the older adult.
And connecting the devices together, because each device in isolation isn't as powerful as bringing those things together. Share it with the doctor, or even as an adult child, you can recognize some things that look like they're amiss and maybe make some recommendations.
Yeah, that's a great point. And now we also have alpha and beta versions of Vitalink on the notepads and the tablets. We have an Android version. We have a Windows 7 version. We're working on an iPad version. Flash is still an issue.
Right.
But we're very excited that we're now making it a portable product for adult children as well as the elderly. For example, if someone doesn't want to be in front of a desktop computer when they're interacting, if someone wants to walk or wheel around their apartment, or sort of just move the camera around to show people.
Well, the convenience and simplicity of the tablets is excellent, and the rumor is that the next generation iPad will have a front-facing camera.
Very exciting.
That for Apple's FaceTime, so that you can have that type of video conferencing. The Android devices already have that built in. And I think they're very inexpensive. It's a lot less expensive to get one of these tablets than it is a computer. And it sort of seems like a book. It seems more natural to be holding it. I got an iPad, when they first came out, and I hardly use my laptop anymore, and rarely use my desktop. If I can do it on the iPad, I'll do that because it's so easy. And the touching things, when you reach up to touch a monitor, it's kind of a strain on your hand after a while, but when you're sitting in your lap and you're touching things, it's much easier to do. And so I could see that just from a accessibility or usability standpoint, that could be another nice benefit of the system.
Yeah. And again, the user experience just works. Everything about Vitalink, I can't tell you how excited I am about the difference that this is going to make, and already is making in the lives of so many people. And I haven't mentioned, we're in 8 languages. We have several thousand users around the world.
People have parents every country deals with these same issues. And we all know that quality of life issues can go up, and that when you reduce the isolation, you can actually live longer, have a better, healthier life. But I can also imagine that for people of our age that have elderly parents, it's kind of like you always feel like you wish you could do more for your parents, and you're so cut off from them. And this seems like a pretty inexpensive way to be able to do a lot more for your parents and stay in touch with them better.
I have to tell you, there are many times I think about what a great thing this is for my parents, and there are many times I think what a great thing it is for me to have given my parents, because I feel less guilty. I live a long way away, and I'm not able to visit and take my kids up as often as I like. And yet this enables me to have those face-to-face connections, and my kids to be connected, and to build a relationship with their grandparents that they just wouldn't have had otherwise. And so you're right, there's that guilt factor that's really lessened because of this connection that we're able to facilitate.
Yeah, because it's important, I think, in our society, as we have an aging population and as the baby boomer population starts to get into that category, there's going to be a lot of situations where you want to have the ability to stay at home longer before you have to go to a managed care facility. And it sounds like these kinds of technologies can bring some of that managed care into the home rather than having to bring the person into the facility.
Adult children who are in the sandwich generation, those in the 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s, who are caring for kids as well as their parents, this allows them remotely, because we're such a mobile society, this allows those sandwich generation adult children to provide care for their parents, to support them regardless of where they live. And as a gerontologist, I know so many families who will do anything to help their parents remain independent and at home, and this is clearly a solution that's a win-win.
Yeah, no, the parents fight it because they want to stay in the familiar surroundings,
Yep.
and the kids, you know, I know this, you feel terribly guilty
Yep.
if when your parents leave their home, and as if you're, you know, not taking as
not
good
able to
care
support them. Yeah.
as you should be able to
Yeah.
do, and so
Yeah.
that sounds good. Well, hey Keith, good talking to you, and it's great to see a company that has what could be a very nice business model, but also does some social good, and you know helps people with important family and social issues. And I think social networking has so many different facets to it that bringing it to something that is so personal and so important to so many people. I really wish you luck with Vitalink.
Fred, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for being with
Appreciate
us.
it.